Hi guys, how you doing? I hope your day is cool. Welcome back to my video tutorials on PHP. If you check down my channel, you've discovered that I already recorded tutorials on PHP. My first 2 or 3 tutorials on PHP. Those tutorials I took time to explain what PHP is and what it does and why you would like to learn it, and also how you can install it on your system, on your computer, before you start writing and coding PHP scripts or code or files. So now I know you by now you've installed your local server on your system and you're ready to go. Okay, right now let's start writing the codes. Let's write our first PHP code. Right now what I'll be doing today is showing you guys the syntax of PHP. Okay, in my previous tutorials I showed you where I'll be saving all our PHP files in the local disk. Okay, um, okay, YouTube. This is YouTube. This is a folder. Inside YouTube, I have a PHP and jQuery folder. Now, on your browser, you will have to navigate to where the files will be stored. Okay. Alright, localhost. YouTube. Okay, this is the parent direct. This is a directory. When you click the parent directory, it's going to take you to exam dashboard. Okay, let's go back. PHP. Now, I know by now most of you have already had probably Notepad, Sublime, Text, or all forms of or different. You might have a different type of note text editor. On my system, I have Notepad++ installed. Notepad++ is installed. That's my favorite text editor, where I used to write most of my codes, all my PHP codes, except Java, where I use Eclipse or NetBeans. Okay, right now we will be writing our first, or we'll be writing our first. This will be the main first PHP file, where I'll be showing you guys the syntax of PHP. Okay, let's save this file. Let me delete this and save. Let's say maybe index.php. Okay, you know that PHP is a file extension of all PHP files. Okay, let's go. Now, first of all, this is how it works. A PHP script can be placed anywhere in the document. Any PHP script you're writing, any code you're writing, or sometimes you will also write HTMLs. Like I told you before, PHP codes or a PHP file can contain CSS code, JavaScript code, and HTML codes, CSS, and JavaScript codes. Yeah. So right now, let's go through the syntax of PHP. Now, first of all, this is the opening tag of PHP, and this is the closing tag of PHP. Now your code goes here. Anything you write in between these two tags are your codes. Okay. All right. Now, if you have a lot of files, if you have a lot of codes, HTML and CSS codes inside your PHP file, now this tags is what will help the passing engine of PHP identify which is PHP. So right now, this is where you write. Between those two tags is where you write your PHP codes. Right now, let's do this. For example, I already showed you echo. Echo. Echo is a function you use to output information. It's a PHP function you use to output information. Excuse me. Okay, now echo hello world. And a semicolon. This is where your line ends at. The semicolon there shows where the sentence ends. Okay. Like I said, all PHP sentence ends with a semicolon. Now let's try to view that in the browser and see what's gonna be the outcome. Okay, now let's refresh this. PHP hello world. Okay, now as you can see, you've not seen our index.php. Now if you are familiar with HTML and web design, that won't be a surprise to you, because any index file is the first file in the folder. Any file that you're saving as index is either index.php or index.html or index.html. Anytime you navigate to the folder without even typing index.php or index.html, when you navigate to that folder, that's the first file. That's the file that will open. Okay, so now we have hello world in here, and from here you can see that this is the output or the result of what we typed. And from here you've not seen echo or any PHP code apart from the hello world. Okay, now let's view this page source and see what we have. Now it's only hello world. Like I told you earlier in my previous tutorial, that PHP script or codes are executed on the server side, on the server, and the result will be outputted on the browser, the client. Okay, now that you know about how to output PHP output information on the screen in PHP, now let's talk about, okay, let me do this. For example, if we have an HTML code here too. Okay, let's try to write an HTML code. Okay, sorry. Okay, you shouldn't have any problem if you shouldn't have any problem with this if you've gone through HTML, you know the basic of HTML, and this shouldn't be a problem. because I'm not gonna take this is not a tutorial for I'm not this video wasn't made for oh sorry I was talking while typing this code. I'm supposed to write title here. Title. Okay, after this, okay, body tags. Okay, now let's try to refresh this. You will notice that in the title bar you have my first PHP file. Okay, let's try to view this, the source code of the source of this, view page source. Now you see the HTML code that we've written is seen on the source page. When you try to view the source page source, now you discover that you've noticed this, that it's here now. Now the PHP tags are not seen here. Now the HTMLs are is here, as you can see it. Okay, now for example, if you type which one, sorry, my videos will be shorter so as for you guys to carry you guys along. I won't be doing long videos. I won't be doing long videos. It will be probably 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes highest. Okay, okay, let's view that in the browser. Okay, now from here you notice the PHP script or the PHP code comes first, then HTML codes beneath it. Now it doesn't matter where you keep your PHP script, it will still work well. Okay, let's bring it down here. Okay, now you see this is our PHP script, our PHP output result, and this is HTML. These two are HTML codes, the output of our HTML code we wrote. Okay, now that is that. Okay, now I'm gonna delete all the the HTML codes. Now we'll be dealing with the PHP. Okay, all right. Now that you've known about the syntax of PHP, now how to start writing PHP code. Now let's talk about comments. We're talking about comments. A comment in PHP is a line that is not read or executed as part of the program. Its only purpose is to be read by someone who is looking at the code, and it helps us to know what we're doing, probably maybe to identify the things we were doing. Excuse me. Comment can be used to let others understand what you're doing. It reminds yourself of what you did. Most programmers have experience coming back to their own work after a year or two or later and having to refigure out what they did. Comment can remind you of what you were thinking when you wrote the code. Yeah. So now that's what comment does. Now let's see first comment. We have different types of comment. We have single comments, single line comment, and multiple line comment. Now anytime the processor, the PHP processor sees this backslash, it tells the processor or the passing engine of PHP that this line is going to be a comment. Now let's see. Comment. Now you see the color of that line, the sentence of that line is green, trying to tell you it's different from other codes. Now the hello world is gray and the comment is green. Now let's try to view that in the browser and see if it's gonna show up. No, it won't show up. Why? Because it's comment. The passing engine has identified it as a comment. Why? Because of the backslash. So if we now comment this, add backslash to that, it's automatically identifies it as a comment. Okay, let's see that. Yeah, nothing shows up. Now another way you can also comment on the PHP script is using hash. Is also a comment. Okay, let me do it in another way. Okay, all right. Okay, let's try to view that if it's gonna show up. Oh, it did not show up. That means it's also a comment. Okay, now that you know about the single line comment, those two lines are comments with a backslash to backslash and the hash symbol. Now let's see the next comment type of comment we have a multi-line comment, multi-lines comment. Now one backslash. Okay, let's first of all write the code. Now copy this, paste there, paste, paste. We have 4 lines of echo and hello world. Oh, sorry. Let me put a line break there. Okay. Now let's try to view that. All right. We now have different lines of hello world. Now let's try to use a multi-comment to comment the section out. How can we do that? Now first of all, we have a backslash and the asterisk symbol. Now you've seen that everything beneath that has been commented, including our closing tag, PHP closing tag. Now let's close the comment. Now you see the closing tag has been liberated from the comment power. Now let's you see, notice this. Okay, notice, check that out. Okay, the color has changed. Now you've seen that it has been liberated from the comments power. Now let's try to view that in the browser and see if what we've commented as. Okay, that's cool. Now as you can see, you should be able to know about comments. You've known about comment now and the syntax of PHP. Okay, now